Hi everyone, I'm Laura from Petals and Linens, the I'm the Florist workshop. Thank you so much for joining me today. I appreciate everybody that joined in to our virtual class. Thank you so much for joining me. This is our first virtual class, so you guys are going to be the first ones to actually do this with me. So today what we are going to do, we are going to do a arrangement with floral, with foam, and then we'll be doing another one with chicken wire. So today and right now we are going to be doing the one with foam. Now first I want to go through our little kit that I sent everybody, either that you picked up or that I delivered. So everything that comes in that particular kit, including what I sent over as far as your little bucket of flowers, we're gonna go through all of that right now, just so you can know exactly what it is that you have. Name of flowers and everything. That way, if you have any questions once we do our Zoom, you'll be able to ask me any questions that you may have. So again, I'm Laura. So nice meeting all of you. For the ones that I've never met, for the ones that I've met before, hey girls. So here we go. So our first thing is our letter. So letter, guys, this was made for us from Harper Avenue Designs. She's completely amazing. She does wedding invitations. She's done our invitations and save the dates for our official workshops. She's actually mailed them also. So her services, if you need services to include delivery, she does do that as well. So, which is awesome. She mails them out. So here is what is included in our kit. You received a vase. The vase is a 6x5. The opening is 6 inches, height is 5 inches. You've received one Oasis foam. The foam is Oasis brand. You will also receive your snips, a notebook, guys, notebook, and a pin. The reason why I give you notebook and pin is because if you do have any questions, because you are able to pause this and also go back. If you have any questions, and if you have questions for me, and when we do the Zoom, you should be able to write that down, and then you can ask me those questions later on. So this is what is in your little kit that I sent you in your basket. For those that will be doing foamless, you will also receive chicken wire. So now, our buckets. Yay. Okay, guys. So here's our buckets. Everyone is receiving one of these. So pretty, 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 pretty. Everyone is receiving roses. Our roses today, here we go. Roses today are cool water. This is a cool water rose. So cool water, which is our lavenders, considered mauves. So you can use those as a mauve. If they ask you for a mauve, then you can always use a cool water as a mauve. We will be using also Sahara. Sahara is a pretty, pretty peachy color, pinky, very blush color, Sahara. And my favorite, what is considered the white or the ivories, is Vendela. So this is a Vendela, which is really, really pretty. Opens so pretty. And now to these beauties. We're going to be using coral peonies. So peonies, whichever one you prefer to say, but we're using 2 of them. We have tulips. Tulips, we have 4 tulips. We'll be using 4 tulips. This is viburnum. This looks like a hydrangea. It's not hydrangea, guys. It's called viburnum. So it's a snowball viburnum. This is a little extra that I put in there. So it's not on your list, but if you do need specific names, email us and we'll give you specific names on it, okay? We also have included your mini majolicas. Mini majolicas are the mini roses. So you'll have 4 stems of mini roses, 2 stems ivory, 2 stems of the purple or the lilac color. So 2 stems and 2 stems. And we have scabiosas. These are scabiosas, guys. So pretty. These are a darker, almost black in color. So if you have brides that are looking for that really dark plum color, really lush dark color, then that's a great flower to go with. And then we have Helleborus, which I absolutely love, 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 love. Helleborus. So this, guys, is Helleborus. So pretty. Comes in white. This is green. Comes in white. Comes in purples. Also comes in like a burgundy color. Really, really pretty. We will also be using silver dollar. Everyone will receive silver dollar. And we will also use baby blue eucalyptus. So this is our baby blue eucalyptus. So this is what we'll be using. So these are the flowers that we'll be using to make our centerpiece. And like I mentioned, we will be going step by step as far as everything that's going to be done for you guys. That way you're able to pause and you're able to see it again if you've missed a step or maybe I went too fast. And then if I do go fast on it in the Zoom, please let me know. Again, this is the first time that I do it this way, so I would be more than happy next time to accommodate everybody a little better. So we are going here, bucket. Everybody's going to receive a bucket, either the green or the blue or green, blue, or this peachy coral color. So advantages of this bucket. Here, what we can do with it, if you remove all your florals from this bucket, if you place it in another vase, or if you have somewhere else that you can place them in, this bucket, if you fill it with water, you're able to soak your hydrangea. Okay, so once you're ready to start doing your arrangement, we need to soak the oasis. So we need to soak the foam, and the best way to soak the foam is going to be in a bucket. We need to let it soak. So we don't want to push it down. We don't want to run the water on top of it, because if we do, then it'll create air pockets inside where we can't see it. So that means if you're going to then insert your foam, if it's stuck inside and there's an air pocket inside where there's dry spots, then your flower is not going to hydrate and it's not going to have enough water. So this is purposely used to keep your flowers hydrated. So what we are going to do is we're going to soak the foam in our bucket. So I've removed flowers from this bucket and we've placed water in this bucket. After you're done soaking your foam, we can then use it here, like I have it upside down, for your height, okay? So we want to lift it a little bit, so that way when we're getting ready to do your arrangement, you're able to have a little bit of height and you're able to see the arrangement also all the way around. So that way we have it this way. So for this particular vase, all we need is half of the foam, okay? So what we are going to do, regular kitchen knife, we're gonna cut it right down the middle, okay? We're gonna cut our foam right down the middle. You'll have an extra foam for another time. Maybe this time, if you feel that you've maybe made a disaster of this particular foam, we can then use another one. So all I did was dropped it right in the water. So drop it right in the water. It will absorb all the water. Once it sinks, it absorbs all the water. You can then let it sit for maybe 5-10 minutes, and then you can remove from the water, and you can then add more water to your vase. Okay, so once we place the oasis in there, and I'll show you exactly how I'm going to place the oasis in. Once we place the oasis in, then we will, you can add more water to your vessel, okay? And even if you use the same water that's in the bucket, which is fine. So we're just gonna let the foam soak in there and absorb the water once you see that the foam is completely absorbed. And again, once you're getting ready to make your arrangement, make sure that you soak your foam, let it sit for at least 10-20 minutes. Usually when I do arrangements, just say for weddings, I do let it sit for about a couple hours, just because, just to be safe, on the safe side, want it to absorb very, very well. But in this case, what you can do is let it absorb a little bit, and then you can place water in the vessel afterwards, after you've already stuck your foam inside of the vase. So for these purposes, we're just going to let it absorb a little bit. Oasis itself, all you're going to do is let it sip right in. So it fits perfectly. Here's what it would look like in the inside. You see how it has these sides that are open. So all these sides that are open like this, here you're able to put water in. So even if I were to take the same bucket, pour some water in, and that's exactly what we're going to do, pour some water into the sides just to make sure that the vessel itself has water. And when we're placing the flowers and everything inside of the vase, the vase will have water even if we place the flowers onto the sides. Vase is going to have water. Oasis is going to stay moist and soaked and with water, and that way our flowers are going to be able to hydrate and stay fresh for a couple days. Okay, so here we go. So what we're going to do is we're going to begin with the silver dollar. So silver dollar, what I usually do, you are going to receive 2 stems of silver dollar, okay? So with the 2 stems of silver dollar, what I usually do, because they're so long, we don't need this long of a stem, but we do want the leaves that are there. So what I usually do is cut them in half, cut them in pieces. So if you see here, it now looks like if it's a stem from the top. So, and that's what we want. We want to make sure that the top part of your leaf doesn't have an actual stem sticking out. We want to remove that stem and have the long part of the stem on the one that we want to insert. So these two, what we're going to do is to your side. So if, let me show you. So here is our vessel with the, dump some water out of here. So here's our vessel with the oasis. In the oasis, you see how the oasis looks like a rectangular shape. What we want to do is have either each, whatever side you'd like. Okay, so it doesn't really matter what side, but as long as it's one side, that way we're placing the greenery to one side and you'll be able to see what is considered the sides. So that's just the easiest way for us to be able to have in mind what we want to consider the sides and not like insert from the corners. We want to insert from the sides. So we're going to insert from these 2 sides here. We're going to add our greenery to the sides. So first greenery is going to go to the sides. Cutting more greenery, and from the top on the sides. Side, side. So right now we're going to cover the sides. We don't need a lot, so just the sides. The sides for now. Now, for our, just say front and back. So front and back, what we want to do is determine where we want to, what is it that we want to consider the back, right? So which side do we want to consider the back? The back in this particular case, what we're going to do to the back part of it is we're going to insert the greenery straight up and down. So greenery is going to go straight up and down to where what we are going to consider the back of our vessel, the back of the arrangement. So right now this is going to be considered the back of my arrangement. And again, these stems are cut short. Look at, they only have maybe 5 leaves to them. If you want to cut them shorter, you can, maybe 3 leaves to them, but just so we can do it this way. So now we're doing back, whatever we consider to the back, it's going straight up and down. So right now, this is what it looks like. Our front is going to be left empty right now, and I'll tell you exactly why in a minute. So that front part, we're gonna leave empty. We're gonna leave that empty. We're not gonna put any greenery there yet, okay? Now, on the top of our vessel, we are now going to add 2 other greenery. This is our front, okay? So this is our front. There's no greenery into the front. We're right up and down the middle. What we're gonna do is we're gonna stick 2 of the stems of greenery. We're gonna leave it right like that. So that's what it's looking at right now. This is what it's looking like. Okay, so with greenery. So right now we're doing just greenery. We're going to fill that a little bit. We'll then start adding our baby blue eucalyptus after. So after we're pretty done with the centerpiece, we're then going to add more greenery if we need it. We're then going to add the baby blue eucalyptus. So right now what we're going to do is we want to start off with our biggest flower first, which is going to be our peony. So this is our peony or peony. So this is what that looks like. This is a big flower. So here, we want to make sure that this particular flower is going to be long enough to absorb the water in the vase itself, right? But short enough to where we're gonna place it right on the corner of this vessel, okay? So this is how long the stems are. I cut it probably quarter of a half of what is the stem was. So this is what it looks like, almost like a pin, the size of a pin. Now, I want everybody to stop. If you have cut your stem, if you cut it flat, and when I mean flat, is if you cut it this way, and this is flat, I want you to recut it. And I want you to recut it at an angle, okay? At an angle. So you should have a pointed, almost like a pin point to your stem, okay? And this is gonna be for all stems that you cut, and the reason why I do this is because it's easier to insert into the foam, okay? And the actually absorbs more water in the stem itself. Okay, so now, our first flower, which is our big flower, we are going to insert right where that opening was, right where that there was no greenery. So now it's going to be right there in the front of our arrangement, and that's going to be our focal point, right? So that's where we want to start our arrangement. That's going to be the focal of this particular arrangement. We are now going to place in our second peony. Our second peony, we're going to leave it a little longer. Again, make sure that we have that point, that jagged edge. That way when we are inserting, it's going to be easier to insert. If you leave it flat, it will leave a bigger hole in the oasis. And if you need to remove and then insert again, it will leave a bigger hole, and it's going to leave it wobbly inside, or it may just loosen up all the foam that's there, and then when you're trying to insert the other flowers, it's not going to insert right, and they may not stay. Because we have some delicate stems that we're going to be inserting, we want to make sure that it's like a one-shot insert. So I know that sometimes that's a little hard, but that's what we're going to try to accomplish. Okay, so our second peony. Our second peony is going to go to the left, okay, so the left of your arrangement. And what we're going to do is on left corner. So remember, our sides are where we started with our greenery. So you should be able to see the left corner. We want to place it towards the left corner, looking towards us, okay? So left corner looking towards us. So that's what that's gonna look like. Left corner looking towards us. So we're not completely straight up and down, a little slanted so that you can see the face of the actual peony, okay? We are then going to start adding our roses. We have a total of 6 cool water roses. These are cool water roses. Our cool water roses, what we're going to do, same technique, guys. You are going to cut it at an angle, okay? Cut these at an angle. We are going to insert our first one on the side. So remember, we started with the greenery towards the sides. Right on that same side, we are going to insert our first rose, little long. You see how high this particular peony is? If I move my hand this way, our rose is that same height. So it's right here. So that's what we're doing. So you can see that the rose is almost like looking towards the front of the arrangement. So that's what we want to accomplish right now, okay? I usually open up my leaves, my petals just a little bit with my fingertips. I like to open them up to make them a little more open, not exactly flip the petals, but just to open it up a little bit more. Our next rose, we're going to cut. Now remember, it's always easier to cut than to add to the stem. You can never add to the stem. So always cut it a little longer, and if you need to cut down, but remember you wouldn't be able to replace. So if you cut too much, it may take away from your actual look of the arrangement, okay? Our next rose is going to go towards the front of the arrangement, right next to our first peony. So right above on the corner. So corner, it's the left corner, and that's where that rose is going to go, left corner. Our next rose is going to go on right corner, and I'm sorry, it was right corner front. Our next one is going in the back, left, right corner, the back part of the right corner. And remember, we're gonna slant them just a little bit so that you'd be able to look like if it's almost looking at us, okay? So here is your left to my right. Your right, it's the front right corner. This is back right corner when you're looking at the arrangement, okay? So make sure that you're turning arrangement when you're making it. What we want to make sure is that you're looking at your arrangement when you're making it. Here, I'm trying to make it as you can see it here. So now, towards the back of the arrangement, we are now going to place one of our roses, back side of the arrangement, all the way in the back. Here, we are going to place one of our roses right to the corner. Right to the edge of that vessel, we are placing one of the roses. So it's right in the middle. So remember, our leaves are to the side. This is our back, the flat part of the oasis. This rose should go towards that flat part of the back of the oasis of the front, which is considered that peony. Okay, hope that makes sense. We are now going to place our 5th rose in the back of the arrangement, back side of arrangement, and this will go corner, which would be, if you're looking at it, it would be your left corner of the arrangement. Okay, so left corner of the arrangement, left corner. So remember, leaves on the sides, flat in the back, corner. So this is your left corner. This is our 6th cool water rose. It is going to go on your right corner. Right corner. Okay. So in all of these roses are placed just a little bit elevated than this one. So this one is flat to the base. This one's a little above where the rose is. Okay. And this one's the same here on this side. So right above. So right now this is what our centerpiece is looking at. I will be turning it for you so you can see exactly what it looks like. Pause if you need to pause. That way you can make any adjustments that you need to make. Okay. So now we're going to move on to our, move on to our Vendela roses. These are our Vendelas. You are welcome to take off any guard petals that you like. I personally like the guard petals. I feel that it gives more petals to the rose itself. This is one of my favorites, which is the Vendela Rose. I love using Vendelas. So this one we are cutting a little long. We are going to go to the front of the arrangement. This one is going to now go on your right side. Remember where the leaves started, the flat part of your sides. This is going to go right to the side, and this will go a little longer than what you have your other roses. Okay, so that's what that looks like. Here we go. So this is your right front corner. This is the sides. Okay. We have a total of 3 of the Vendela for you. Okay. So this Vendela, we're going to cut short. Okay. You're going to place this particular one straight in the middle of the arrangement. Okay. Straight in the middle. So here we go. It is right in the middle of the arrangement itself. So if you see it, it's right here in the middle. So it'll go straight right in the middle. It'll hit the oasis. Okay, so you're putting it all the way inside, and it's going to hit the oasis inside. So it's going to be level with the oasis. So it's a short stem, so it'll be level with the oasis all the way when you place it inside. We have one more Vendela that's going to be inserted. I like to use the colors all at the same time. So when I am doing an arrangement, even if it's for weddings, if it's for anything that I'm doing, I will always go with, like, just say, if I'm doing all purples, all whites, all Saharas, all coral, I'll do all of them separately. So I'll do the same way that we did right now. I'll do all my purples, then I'll do all my Vendelas, then I'll do all my Saharas, and then I'll do all the other flowers separately. So everything is, I don't mix them, just because it's easier to keep track of what exactly I've been using, how many I need to insert still, how many I want to still place inside, what it looks like with the combination of flowers, colors. It's just a easier organization technique to use. Okay, so our last white one is going to go, it is your left front corner, right in between the 2 peonies. We're going to place that right there. So right in between your two peonies, that's where our white is going, or our ivory. We now have the 3 Saharas. 3 Saharas. Love, love, love this color of rose. It's amazing. This is such a pretty rose. It opens up so pretty. And again, I gently open it with my hand. This opens so beautifully. So that's what that particular rose looks like. It's so pretty. This one we are going to cut a little longer. We're going to put towards the back. So remember, the back is going to be considered the opposite side of where you have your peony. And we are going to put it right in between your first lavender rose that you placed and what's placed in the middle. That's going to go right in the middle of those 2 roses, right above that. So it's going to go right above what this ivory was, which is flat to your vessel, right above that particular one. And you want it to look towards you. So if you slant it just a little bit, when you insert it, you're going to slant it not up and down, but slant it into the oasis, and that way it looks like it's looking towards you. So, and as you're working, we're turning the vessel to make sure what it looks like, how it looks all the way around. Now our second Sahara, this is our second Sahara, which is so pretty. You can hear my doggies. Okay, this particular one, our larger peony towards the top, the one that's lifted a little bit, we are going to insert this one right on, which is also going to be side of your arrangement, right below the peony. So that is this one here, right below that peony. So beside your lavenders. So this is the back. This is the one that's right. If you're looking at it in front of you, this one is on your right corner. So this one will go on the side. So your right side. I'm going to open this up a little bit. We're now going to place this one, so what is considered your front, so front with that large peony in the front. This particular rose is going to go on the side, right below the peony. So this one's almost going to like fall over a little bit, give it a little bit of flair on the side. And then any open areas, like in this case there's maybe an open area here, we will then fill it. So we still have a whole bucket of flowers, guys. So you see how pretty this is already? We still have a whole bucket of flowers that we need to insert into our arrangement stalls. So if you end up opening it up a lot more, there's still a lot of flowers that we can use. If you decide this is all you want to do, this is what looks pretty to you, then that's all you have to do, and this is the way that you'll keep your look, right? So now what we are going to do is we are going to use the Helleborus. I love Helleborus. This is Helleborus. Helleborus is so pretty. And again, it comes in burgundy, it comes in white, and it also comes like in a mixed, almost like a maroon color. Really, really pretty. Okay, our Helleborus, we are going to insert the Helleborus towards the sides and give it more of this particular peony. We're gonna hide that stem that's in the back. We're gonna hide the stem with the Helleborus. So what we're going to do is insert our Helleborus right on the side of where that peony is, so we can hide that stem a little bit. Okay. you should receive 2 stems of the Helleborus. So we're now going to place another part of the Helleborus. So make sure you have your Peony, which is your front, and then remember your Lavender Rose, which is the back. We're then going to insert Helleborus on the sides. Okay, up to you on how long you'd like to make them. So on each side, we're gonna place one of the Helleborus on each side, either facing forwards or facing back, whichever way you decide. We are now going to place one of the Helleborus right above the Peony. Okay, and make it look like that. So it's right above the Peony. So the stems are actually overlapping of what the Peony is. And just so you can get a closer look, that's what it looks like. That's what our sides look like so far. Very, very pretty, guys. We also have mini roses. So our mini roses, we are going to place towards the bottom. Leave it a little bit long. You can cut each individual stem. On the sides, we're going to leave them a little long, place them towards the sides. In the front, right besides that Peony, we're going to stick it right in the side, right there. We also have ivory majolicas. So these are considered majolicas. They're pretty close right now, but when they're open, they're so pretty. We have an opening right here, which is the side of the arrangement. So remember, Peony's front, the other rose is back. This is how you're always gonna remember where we're inserting the flowers, okay? So Peony front, the roses, there's three lavender roses right here. We're going to stick this particular majolica right in between those 3 right there. So that's what that looks like, right in between those 3. We are now going to use our tulips. I've given you 4 tulips, okay? Tulips are going to go right below, the first one will go right below where we just placed those mini roses. We are going to place the tulip, one of the tulips going up downwards. So mini roses that we just placed right below that, that's where we're going to stick one of our first tulip. Our second tulip is going to go towards the back. So remember, Peony front, rose back. We are now going to insert our tulip right behind. Remember, this rose is our back, so tulip will go right above where the second rose is, same height as our second. Our third tulip will go right in between where our peonies are. Okay, so right below where the Helleborus is, right there towards the front. That's where our tulip is. Actually, no, we're gonna leave that one alone. We're gonna stick this one towards the side. Okay, so right on the side, right on the side of where our hellebores is and where roses are. So remember, peony's the front, our rose is the back. We're always going to remember what's touching closest to the vessel is going to be what's front, what's back, so we'll know what our sides are. So we have one more tulip. We'll place the other tulip above, right behind where those mini roses are, right behind that. So this is so far what we have and what we consider our front of our arrangement. We now have our viburnum, which is look like little snowballs. It almost looks like miniature hydrangea. So these we are going to place. Now you can cut these in pieces or in little parts. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to cut them in parts. I'm going to stick them towards the bottom back. Okay, so here's one. Bottom back, bottom back. And then you can either use them all together or you can cut them in pieces. I would say place them towards the bottom. Here's another side. Here on the side, and remember this is front, it's off to the side, so it's your right side that I've placed them on. And I'm actually going to only use those there. We also have our scabiosa. Scabiosas to me are meant to pop. So here we have one that's going to be towards the back part. Our other one is going to be off to the side, which is going to be your right side towards the bottom. And this one we will place a little more inside of the vase. So there we go. So one is in the back, one is towards front. So I have flowers that we can still use. Here's what I suggest. Place these. Let's place a little bit of the baby blue eucalyptus. These I like to use to give a little more height. And this is towards the back. I place this all the way in towards the back, and these are on the side. These are going to be on the side. So on the sides, this is where I'm placing them. So okay guys, so I think if you want to add more greenery, if you feel your arrangement needs more greenery and you still have greenery left over, by all means, place a little bit more greenery. Hide the foam if you still feel that you see some foam. You can then leave leaves longer if you like to leave the leaves longer. If you don't want to place any more leaves, then you can always fill it with flowers. I'm just placing a little bit more greenery towards the back just to fill in a little bit. So here is our centerpiece, everyone. So I truly hope that you are able to follow along. We will have our Zoom on Sunday. Let's get a little closer. So we will have our Zoom on Sunday. And if anybody has any questions, please feel free to let me know that day. That way we can go through any questions that you may have on how to answer, how exactly we did it. And hopefully I'll be able to help you out. So appreciate everyone. Thank you so much for following along. I can't wait to be able to have another class with you. Hopefully this was easy enough for you guys to follow along, and we'll be able to do it again. Thank you so much. I'm Laura, Petals and Linens. I'm the Florist Workshop. Thank you. Appreciate you so much.